The Whiskey Brothers.
Welcome to the Whiskey Brothers podcast, everybody. How exciting is this? 10:49. We're on our way to 10:50, a meaningless number. I don't know why I still track them. I'm your host, Slade Ham. Next to me, Sam Damaris. Across the table from me, who's been across the table for a very long time now. I remember a day when you were just running the back of the house.
Yeah, man.
Jerry Wayne Longmire. And in the fourth seat this week, unexpectedly.
Yeah. Right. Yeah,
I recognize the laugh. Tre Tutson, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers, guys.
Oh, my God.
This has been
done this in a while.
a long time coming. And to you, Chicken, running new back of house.
Happy birthday.
One day hoping to be the man with the beard at the table, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Chicken is...
Work on that beard, son.
That's
Need some volume.
It wouldn't make sense because the beard got longer and longer because it was Rob with the nice and tight. Then you came in and it got bigger. Then Chicken comes in. It's like the next thing we got to do is get Moses.
Yeah.
And the black guys get smaller. That's what's going on.
My black guys just keep shrinking.
Yeah.
And the beards keep getting longer. I can't wait to do this podcast with Kevin Hart and, and Billy Gibbons. Anyway.
Man, that'd be cool as hell, actually.
Wouldn't it? Actually, what am I even doing here? You wouldn't listen to a Billy Gibbons and
Reverend Willie G, are you shitting me? Him and Kevin Hart together? That'd be hilarious. Bro.
Take 15 minutes for Kevin gets hit with a guitar.
Strangled in beard.
Happy birthday, buddy. We appreciate you being here. Your birthday is somewhere in between when we're recording and when this episode's airing. So if you get a chance, drop Chicken a hello online. I'm going to do the toast. We're drinking.
Or send him some money.
That would be better. We're drinking Boomtown Bourbon. It's a brand new batch. That's a lot of bees from our friends
different.
at the Old Humble Distilling Company. Did you taste the difference?
Yeah,
Yes,
it does
I
taste
did.
different.
So
It's way better.
I was going to say thicker. I don't know what that means in the realm of whiskey,
It's thicker.
but it tastes thicker.
It's
You know what I
sweeter.
mean?
This whiskey's got more girth.
Yeah. yeah.
That's not how I would describe.
It's like them girls that stand outside Fiesta. You know what I mean?
What he means is that the whiskey is just his type.
Right.
That's totally fair.
Fair.
If he didn't like it, he'd be like, "This is some skinny bitch whiskey.
It's like,
Whiskey a little too thin
get
for
this
my
petite
taste.
whiskey out of here,
This
goddamn
whiskey's
it.
bony. I don't like it. This whiskey's bony."
That's what I was saying. For now, that's a bony whiskey.
Bony whiskey.
Can't do this.
Like my whiskey thick. I like my accent.
No, it's
Put some
sweeter. You'll
barbecue
notice.
sauce in
It is. It's got you can anyway. You can taste the mash, but I think the water has changed. Which
Yeah,
is
it's got better water.
a
Definitely.
different. Whatever you're doing out there, Joe, keep it up. We're big fans. Boomtown Bourbon. I think you can get some of this at the actual distillery closer to the end of the month. They sold out. Big event, and then everything else went out to the distributors. So if you haven't found it in all the places you normally buy whiskey, you can pop by there at the
I
end
know
of the month.
Specs
What
just got
does
it.
it say about us that we can taste the whiskey and go, "Oh, you changed the water"?
You know?
I mean,
I
It
remember.
says we have refined palates, my friend.
Well,
it says we have
refined palate.
refined problems. Is what it says, motherfucker.
Facts.
I remember there were nights that would go out, and it's weird now because I don't drink much. Like it's the podcast has become sort of my trip to the bar once a month, which makes my tolerance being down is awesome. But back in the day, we'd be in these crazy dark bars and loud, crowded this is and that's, and I always drink Jameson. Sam always drinks Jack Daniels, and then throw them down. They go, "Here's your Jack, here's your James." And out of the corner of my eye, I'd be like, "Bitch, you messed those up. Those are backwards."
Yeah.
And she'd be, "How'd you know?" I'm like, "Oh, that was slightly."
I just know which one it
It'd
looked
be
like.
a dark bar like fucking Davenport, and he'd be like, "Nope, don't." Because I pick it up, he'd be like, "Don't drink that. That one's mine."
You
I'm
can
like,
just tell by the
Well, you know
slight-
your woman in the dark, too.
100%. Also, I stuck my finger in your drink.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Just once. I don't think he liked it.
How have you been, man?
I've been good. You
Good?
know what I mean? For the most part. Hell yeah. Just maturing.
How was your Cap City shows? I saw you and Bryce
Oh,
on
those were
Cap City. I know that.
Great.
Fun.
My shows, both of my shows sold out.
Hell yeah.
And
dude.
that was solid. And a lot of it was attributed to the week before. I did like 4 shows at Creek and the Cave with Ian. So I did those, and then a lot of people came to the taping, to the recording and
Kick-ass.
shit. Did it about 50 minutes. Got the stuff back for it, so I get the review and move some stuff around.
You happy with it?
It was solid. I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna send it to Louis because I got a text saying that he wants to hear it. So yeah, so I get to so this all if I can explain like the weekend was like bananas.
Real talk though, if he has to do it in front of you, just let him.
Oh, bro, like I told people, when I met him, they was like, how was it? I came on him. That's how I jerked off in front of him. I'm like, you going to have to blackball me now, fam. Like, Louis, you're not getting JFL.
We're doing this together.
Yeah, exactly.
Actual black balls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. No, that weekend was it was crazy. It was too much of a high though, that weekend. I was like fighting off women, like trying to live right. And be righteous and shit. Like, first time I ever dealt with that.
Saying no or
I usually being righteous. I usually fight women. I've never fought them off. You know what I mean? Like I'm usually in the wrong, and I'm like, well, bitch, let's knuckle up then. Like if this is what it come down to. But this weekend I was like, I'm just trying to get to my room. I'm just trying to I was trying to be righteous. But
that's so funny.
But the weekend was like. It was like insane. Hadn't like really slept. Like I had to move the day I had to drive out there and shit. So I had to deal with that, move everything, drive all the way there. I get to the hotel like 6:45, and the show's at 8 or whatever. So I had just enough time to like shower and meditate. Couldn't really meditate. Was just like kind of too excited. So I walk over there and get there. And I'm expecting like 8-9 people because the club's not really talking to me. Like. It's really just weird. And I walk in, man, I go up there, and as soon as I get there, the guy hands me a tequila and ginger beer. I was like, how the fuck did he know? Like somehow somebody told him.
Oh, like a star.
I was like, oh, yeah, appreciate it. I was like, hey, man, we're going to have a good weekend.
You know how I knew? Because no one forgets.
Oh, a weird
if you walk up and order a tequila and ginger beer, like, oh, that's that nigga.
Yeah, exactly. It did feel like that. So
yeah, you know what would have been impressive? Bourbon and Coke.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so go in, man, and then they give me a situation like, hey, we're gonna have a good weekend. Like both of the shows are sold out. I was like, oh snap! Walked in, it was like packed in there. I'm like, okay, cool. Finding out who the openers was, like, oh, okay, bet. Just kind of sat, went up, and I'm talking start to finish. Like that was the first time it ever happened. Just like start to finish, just killing for 50 minutes, just in the pocket. I was telling Slade, it was feeling so good. I just started doing it clean. I just stopped cursing. Like I didn't curse nothing, no adding. Just like here go the thought as is, and it was just like eating it up. Like
feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it felt real good. After that, going to go do other spots and stuff like that. I was supposed to smoke cigars with Joe List. We were supposed to smoke cigars, hang and chill like that. He was like, oh man, I don't know, blah blah. Then I found Louis was playing Moody Arena, so I was like, oh, he's probably gonna hang with Louis. Like that's probably what it is. Okay. You know, that's fine. You still get bumped. You know what I mean? You got bumped from a hang. I got bumped from a hang. That's how it happens. So cool. So I go and go do other spots and stuff like that, and I'm hanging. That's fine. Next day, I go with these Canadian dudes that a Canadian guy met, Danny Marnello. Met him in Seattle when we did Seattle together. He's the one that won it. We go to hang with him. They said they want to do Texas stuff the whole weekend. That's what they say. We want to do Texas stuff the whole weekend. So I'm like, what y'all want to do? We want to shoot guns and eat barbecue. That's
so just Canadian stuff with better
but
accents.
But exactly. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So they go. I forgot what barbecue place we go to. We go. It's about an hour wait. They didn't ate so much barbecue. They're just farting the whole time. Like I'm talking like big time. I'm like, man, this is crazy. And I was telling Slade, like, I learned like how polite Canadians really are. Because he was getting up and leaving and farting and then coming. And I'm like, why you keep getting, are you stretching? Like, I'm thinking, you got sciatica? Like, what the fuck going on? Why you keep getting up and
your
coming
legs
back?
falling asleep?
And he's like, oh, man, I just got gas. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. So he was like, yeah, I just got a lot of gas. I'm like, damn, that's real polite. Like, we just say, excuse me. I never know nobody to excuse it, you know?
Well, because, like, see, here the thing is, when we fart, you can just kind of be quiet and blame it on somebody. In Canada, it's so cold, there's steam coming out your asshole. So
that's what when Tre said he was fighting off women. I know, like, heavy girls always love you.
Yeah.
Oh, and so I just pictured his hotel window like covered in condensation from them breathing.
Bathroom through mirror fogged up.
Just a big circle of condensation for every one of them, just hanging
I
out.
can't
Picture
stand
him running through his hotel room through a bunch of big chicks like reverse bowling, like a little bowl with these big fat pins.
It's like a pinball game. Like a
Yeah, bro.
try to look through the peephole and it's just covered.
Just condensation. look like you brought an ice water out in summertime.
Yeah, and I can't stand that because you can only fuck with what like you. You can only smash what like you. The other way is illegal. So people like you got a type. No, that's what the fuck say yes. Like I can't. This ain't my type. You want to see who said no? He's way better bitches who said no. So,
Yeah, remember when you walked to the bar, looked across the bar, and said, "Damn,
yeah,
she said no."
She said no. You showing the dude your phone full of nose.
Yeah.
This is my nose right here.
Look at you. You know who you are.
You know.
You know where you are on the scale.
Exactly, man.
You know you're nobody's type.
Yeah. 100%, bro. So I was fighting that off.
Not you.
So,
I meant the anyway. That's the whole. Yeah, whatever.
I got you.
We real.
We always
got
leave
it.
out the drive.
Felt qualified. I want to run him off on day one. You know what I mean? He comes back for 10 minutes.
Oh, you run me off my
Be that dude. No, I just anyway.
That's no moon.
It's a trap.
That's a trap.
Y'all watch the Grammys the other day?
Of course we did.
I didn't even know.
I didn't watch.
I
forgot.
swear to God, I found out today that the Grammys were yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
They
I
don't-
found out at midnight last night because somebody posted on Facebook that Beyonce had just won more Grammys than anybody in history.
That's literally when I tuned in. So I missed everything, and when I tuned in, they was like, James Corden is coming, and he comes out and presents it, and that's why I caught it. I caught the black portion of the Grammys.
Well, I saw that Toby Neat.
Bro,
From the SWAT.
From the SWAT.
Yeah, Toby from the SWAT. I love his music, and so I kind of follow. So I follow him on Instagram and stuff, and I was like, oh shit. But it was like right after he was telling this cool ass story about the Transformer, that like he's in the Transformer movie, and the guy that's directing the Transformer movie, black director. It's like the first time a black director's taken the helm of one of these, and it's not been Michael Bay.
He can't do worse.
And that guy's best friend was a huge Toby fan, right? And he was like, "You gotta get his music in the film. You gotta get his music film." Well, then that dude dies, and so the guy hits up Toby. He goes, "I want you to be in the film, and I want you to portray this character based on my best friend." Right? And he's like, all right. And he's like, I don't know nothing about acting. He said he had his phone out. He had his iPhone out, and he was just reading lines and recording it and sending them to the dude. And the guy was like, all right, man, we want you. You're the guy who wants to be it. And, Toby doesn't go anywhere without his whole family. Like his wife and kids and all that go with him. Like it's a group deal. That's the only way he travels. So they're like, oh, you got to come up to Canada for like 2 months and film this movie. And he goes, oh, I thought that was it. Toby ain't gonna be no actor, He goes, so I was like, oh man, I don't really, because of my situation, I don't work like that. I gotta take my whole family. He said they called him back 30 minutes later. They're like, all right, we rented y'all a big suite and we're flying everybody up, and they brought the whole family up. And like, that's stroke, bro. Wow. That's when you know that you are changing the face of the world. You know what I mean?
Man.
Yeah.
When you can make a statement like that, never been in a movie, and the guy's like, oh, no, okay, we're going to fly your whole family up here and put them up.
Yeah, big up to Toby. I like Toby.
That's cool.
Music.
Hell,
I like
man.
everything he represents. I just hate them big ass clothes.
What's
Boy, them clothes big as hell, boy.
But they look cool when they dance.
They do. But he had this what he wore to the Grammy. He had this big ass lime green suit.
I
You
saw it.
I saw them pants was so wide, a raccoon could live in the motherfucking pants.
And he wouldn't know.
You would not know. You'd be like, is that his dick? That's a raccoon, fam.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's just a bit, but it didn't change. Like now, like I go to stores, that's just this new wave now. Everybody's dressed like it's 2001.
I was
Big ass puffy clothes.
I sold so much of that shit.
Oh, Jinko's coming back, too?
wait, 2001. So wait, let's give a year to the baggiest clothes.
Shit.
So because I feel like
Oh.
1990. 1, 2.
Yeah.
No, maybe even 88, 80.
Well, when I was in middle school,
When
it was
were
like
Skids and Hammer Pants?
Z Cavaricis and Gerbeaus, and that was right after Skids.
Skids and Hammer Pants were 92, 93.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
94 was like
You started
Gerbeaus.
pinch rolling once they started rolling up the bottoms, they weren't big anymore.
But you gotta remember, like 98, 99 is when that raver shit took over and kids were wearing the big ass bell bottom
the
kickwear
hot pocket
things.
Jinkos, the
I mean, the
Jinkos.
hot pocket, hot topic.
Yeah,
Whatever.
those big motherfuckers.
Big
that
straight
was
leg giant jeans.
that might have been
One
the
you
baggiest.
put a Nintendo in.
Yeah.
That might
pocket.
have been
That might have been the
late night- That's
baggiest.
what I'm saying. Like 98 to 2002.
98 to
it was
2002.
about just huge, just too big a clothes.
69-inch fucking
I
bottom
had this
jeans.
little cousin that was I say little cousin. He's like 6 foot tall, but he's like this big around. You know what I mean? Just lanky, skinny, tall, and he was a teenager at that time, and he was wearing those Jinko jeans, and it was the funniest shit ever to see him walking down the road because it was just
You could steal a whole pizza.
yeah. It was wild to see him walk up. He couldn't fit in a chair because he had too much pants. You know what I mean?
I will say this though, because we both talked about it. Like I remember when it was before the Jinkos and before they got that big, but we still had the big straight leg skater pants. Used to wear those in Doc Martens, and I used to always wear them, just straight down. If you ever saw me with those jeans tucked into my Doc Martens, I was stealing something.
Oh, okay.
you needed
I would walk in the
needed
Boris
cargo
bookstores or
capacity.
Planet Music, and I would just drop shit in there and just fucking just bloop, 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 bloop. And then you walk out because this Planet Music, like the registers were here, and then around the corner was the exit, and it was a blind corner from the register, and they had those little anti-security things, but they were here and the walls were here, so there was this much space between the. So if you just walk between that and the wall, the shit didn't go off. Wow. I didn't even
Everybody,
take
you sounded like a bag of CDs.
Yeah.
Clack, 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 clack. Boy, I'm smooth as hell.
Boy.
Sound like that lady who collects coat hangers from the dressing room.
Yeah. You sound like a junk trunk hitting a speed bump.
Boy, you will get your ninja walk on like a motherfucker.
What the fuck are you doing, Sam?
Why I got all these scratches on my leg?
I'm strolling like, that dude is flying. No, that dude is a thief.
Yeah, you walk by an old lady like, why is that nigga jingling?
Sound like a cheap wind chime.
I saw a dude at a grocery store get grabbed one time. He wasn't wearing the Jinkos. Now remember the shorts that went almost to their ankles?
Oh, yeah.
The big wide shorts.
yeah.
He was wearing those, and the loss prevention guy grabbed him coming out the grocery door, and a fucking ham fell out of the dude's nuts, like boop on the ground, and the guy just goes, "You got me."
When I used to work at the grocery, so this was like my first job ever. I was 16 to maybe 18. And it was the grocery, so we got stolen from constantly. And the meat section was always the one that got hit. And I would be I would always look for people. I was feisty. I wanted to start shit. But I remember watching this woman one time. She took like one of those, you know how it's like those trays of steaks? Okay. It had to be like $100 worth of ribeyes or something. Okay. She took it like that, and she just up under her dress. I don't know where it went. But she left with it. I couldn't even stop her.
We don't want that.
No one wants it back.
Nobody's going to use it.
Get the ribeye out your pussy. You got 8 ribeyes in your pussy.
I saw you put them in. But at that
I'll
point,
let you leave here unmolested. You do one jumping jack.
that's give me one of those steaks back without using your hands. You can keep the other set.
Bitch, I know what you got under there. I'm going to need you to strip steak.
This ain't even all the meat you had up there this week.
You can check. You have 10 flaps, ma'am.
I accidentally stole pork chops one time. Like
Wait,
I picked
the
up.
fuck out of here.
I picked
Jerry.
up.
accidentally
I had
stole pork chop.
you know, like the 2-packs.
That's the way you accidentally found a chicken sandwich in your pocket the
and
other
I was
day.
on the phone, like AirPods,
And just walked.
and got having a conversation with my brother, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I have to go out in the car and look at that." And I just walked out of the fucking store, and I threw those pork chops in the seat, and I gave him the thing, and then I was driving home, and I was like, "Oh man, I forgot the Dr. Pepper." Oh shit! Well, I can't go back there and get it.
You got to keep them at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I wasn't gonna take it.
Drive, let your conscience drive you back
I'm
to the
sorry.
store.
That is the biggest shit ever. Where you just got not in a bag.
Yeah,
you just got pork chops just sitting in the seat. If you get in his car, you're like, bro, you finna cook these right now? Like, is there a grill in the
pork
trunk?
chops. Just put them on the back.
I'm hungry.
All I know is this. I know how I'm getting steaks from now on. I'm sorry, I was on a call. I wasn't paying attention. I just
if you, I mean, it's a. I imagine that's probably how people do it, right? They just walk in and walk out like they're supposed to.
Yeah.
That's probably the least.
That's the Walmart model of theft.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody can stop you.
There's usually a handicapped motherfucker that's at the door. He the last line of defense. So he usually just be like, wait! You like, motherfucker, you better use them legs.
Yeah, he hit me with a hey.
I hope that scooter's got a lot of horsepower.
You think there's anybody ever made it all the way out to the parking lot with a TV and heard hey? It was like, ah, shit.
Damn,
They got me.
I gotta bring
stealing.
this back.
That was the like Walmart had a huge problem that people just walk in and pick up a TV and walk right out.
is that why they do that receipt bullshit now?
So
Yeah.
there's
Walmart's doing this really creepy thing that people don't even realize they're doing. So here's the deal. Their systems, their self-checkout systems, have gotten
Scales
them
now.
so advanced. You're on about 4 different cameras when you check out. And so what they do is they keep track. So if you come in there and you steal, they keep track of that. And then the next time you come, you're like, oh, I got away with it. You come in there and you do it again. So in Texas,
they wait till it's over 500.
over a felony. So
Yeah.
Texas, it's 500 is a felony. So the minute you breach 500, they call the cops and you get a felony.
So you're saying I can go to every Walmart in Texas and steal $490 worth of shit right
No,
now?
no,
They're
no,
not
no.
gonna do anything.
No. If you go to
It's cumulative.
Luetta, yeah, that's what I like.
So you're saying I can go to every Walmart and steal a
One.
cumulative
Just
490?
go to a good one and take $4.90 and then stop going.
That's
A
that's
good Walmart. Oh, you not even what the fuck you just said?
Boy, he said
What's
Loretta.
a
I'm like, I'm not going out there. A close one, motherfucker.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was like, I was just trying to.
He said Loretta. I ain't driving 40 miles to get to a fucking Walmart.
I got you, but
For some free pork chops?
But you see a good one, like when you see like a fancy McDonald's, you're like, oh, look at that. You know what I
signature
mean?
Walmart.
Like, bro, Walmart is Walmart. They selling plastic eggs.
You all
Walmart's
go to
doesn't have a-
Katie. Katie Walmart. The Katie Walmart.
Yes.
Yeah, Walmart
Y'all
doesn't
go to
have
the one
it.
by my house on Tidwell and Cross Timbers. That is not a good Walmart.
I don't go to shit on Tidwell Cross.
Rachel's like, baby, I don't want you driving around there after dark. I'm like, honey, I've driven on these roads my whole life. After dark, I'm fine. She goes, well, I'm not going. I was like, no, you shouldn't. You know, like, I'm unkidnappable. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not worried about me, bro. Like,
That's very.
They can hit you with
people
like,
are gonna look at me and make a judgment call.
Totally.
He ain't got nothing worth money on him.
but what if they got
Nah.
4 darts in the gun? You know what I mean?
That was when we were in Italy once when we were with Laura Hayden or whatever, and she was like, "You should put your wallet in your front pocket. Like they're known for pickpockets out here." I go, "Look around these little Italian dudes." I go, "Now think about if they try to pickpocket me and I grab that hand."
Well, first of all, they got
I
to
go-
reach up.
I go, that's the only thing they're thinking. I was like, matter of fact, why don't you give me your shit and I'll put that shit in my back pockets?
that's
I go,
100%.
nobody's touching me.
Yeah, as soon as they see Sam, they're like, no, I don't want you to do
Just
that.
to take my chain.
Dude, I went to the stockyards in Fort Worth. I wear these pants that have like a zipper on the pocket. I always keep my wallet up there. And somebody, like, I felt something. We're all packed in there and everything. And I felt something. I was like, what the hell? And I put my hand down and my zipper was like half open. Somebody had like tried to. It was so slick. Like, I didn't feel anybody pull a zipper.
They're good.
I just kind of felt something fuck with me right here. And I was like, oh, my wallet. And I put my hand down. My wallet was still there. I was like, oh,
They're
you got
good.
close, bro. You got close. You almost got me.
There's train
God, you'd have
stations.
been disappointed what you found.
There's train stations all over Europe that have signs that say watch out for pickpockets and stuff like that. And I always that's where I would sit if I was a pickpocket, because everybody sees that
Checks
sign
their-
and immediately
That's
reaches for the pocket they got their shit
pickpocket
in.
dude they had on YouTube that was telling. He goes, "That's where we hang out. We hang out. 'cause
smartest-
We see people see the sign, they reach for their pocket, and then we know where it is."
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
I mean, it makes that was we were in wherever we were. I remember seeing that sign and I instantly touched it and I went, "You dumb son of a bitch!"
So
I just want somebody to pickpocket.
here, buddy.
I want somebody to pickpocket me and then come back like 10 minutes later, like, "I'm sorry, bro."
Just apologize. I left a 10 in here for you. Grab yourself some lunch.
Do you need a ride somewhere? Like,
I want to call you Uber.
so I went to for old time's sake, just pure nostalgia. I went to go see Cannibal Corpse at White Music Hall, And in the fucking,
I didn't say anything.
I didn't
No,
know what it was
your
either.
face
Don't feel
said 9
bad.
things though. Your voice didn't say shit, but your eyes.
I did.
you can't call me that no more.
I
Remember,
didn't say. I would never say anything. Your preference.
I was talking about a marsupial.
I was talking about Tommy the Wingway's pants. But no, it was a dude trying it in the mosh pit, and I was like,
He tried to pickpocket.
"That's brilliant." The mosh pit is brilliant.
It's brilliant till you think about the fact that there's 80 violent dudes in that pit.
But everybody's
Probably
bumping
with
up,
no
bumping
money.
Up, bumping up, right?
True.
And so I feel something go, and I reach back, and as soon as I do, I feel those fingers. I turn around, and I couldn't figure out who the fuck it was or whatever. And the song ends.
It was the white dude in the black shirt.
The song ends. I told my buddy Jimmy, I was like, "This motherfucker just had his hand in my goddamn pocket." He goes, "Who?" I was like, "I don't know." And then like 2 songs later, another song is Jimmy goes, "I caught the motherfucker." And Jimmy's bigger than me. And he's like, "Oh, I caught him." He was like, I was like, "Did you get him?" He was like, "No, I just stared him down." He was like, "I don't know where the fuck he is, but if I see him again, I can point him out." But yeah, he was just going through the mosh pit getting people. And I was like, it's brilliant because everybody's bumping up against each other.
It's a brilliant place to do it, but the reason it's dangerous is if you get caught, no one's gonna take notice of you getting your ass whooped in a mosh pit.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
nobody's coming to save you.
My dad elbowed a dude at Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion. They were there for some concert. I don't know what it was. We were there with them, me and my sister. And my dad, like, he felt somebody messing with his wallet pocket, and he just goes, "Coo!" And it was a dude about Tre's size. And my dad's huge. And, I mean, this dude was just laying on his back going,
Oh,
his hair. And he's like, "Sorry, sir. Sorry."
it's a good reflex.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
They had one of those gigantic wallets. I remember seeing. You ever see those wallets that just go
That
up to
stick
the
way
belt?
up.
the
Yeah.
cowboy wallet.
You think you
But-
can steal that motherfucker?
But they always have a chain on them. Those big long
They
ones
always
always have a
them?
chain on them.
I
Yeah.
got lift. I was a little thief for a little while, and I tried to play around. The guy was like,
They
"Go
get
ahead."
some suction in
I
there.
got lifted up.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, motherfucker!" Put me
Like,
down.
is it like the wallet to pocket ratio doesn't?
It's like sticking that thing. I guess I don't know. I don't really know, but it was deep in. He was like, "Look, you gotta like really. You're not gonna like slip in and get this wallet. It looked like you can because the way it's
So
sticking
much of
out.
it's exposed.
Yeah,
I don't know
'cause
why I looked at you like you'd have a wallet like
I
that.
feel like that's the
I
wallet
did.
his dad
Yeah.
had.
At one point you did. I did.
Yeah, I had a couple of them.
Are they
Where
harder
you
to?
sit, they
Motherfucker came with a
curve.
suitcase and everything.
Yeah, one of them had a bicycle chain. The other one had a regular chain.
Wait, a bicycle chain like
Yeah.
a bike,
like a bike chain.
so it
Yeah,
can
but
only
it's big motherfucker.
turn one way.
Huh?
Like you wouldn't pivot this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't torque whatever.
Yeah, I just thought it looked cool.
You had that. Shit. You ever catch somebody stealing like from you?
Yeah,
That's always a. I remember. I don't know how to assert myself, so that's just been a big problem. But I caught a buddy. You know, we going out. We double dating. He never has money. He the motherfucker that orders a bunch of shit and everybody's paid, and he just at the table looking like Sam. Like how Sam looking right now. That's how he looking at the table. Like we like, hey man, go ahead and pay.
Yeah.
Well, look, I ain't really got it, and then we got to do a GoFundMe right there on the
Yeah.
spot. So, so he was kind of tired of them embarrassing moments. So we're at my parents' house. So we split up. He's showering in this room, and I'm in the master bedroom taking a shower. When I come back, you know, I'm coming back in to get dressed and everything. He's just in my wallet, like just going through, like. And I'm like, "Hey, bro." He's like, "Oh, yeah, how? I was giving you that money back." I'm like,
wow.
"I know how this goes." So I didn't really know how to respond. I just was like, "Just whatever."
I caught somebody in my truck one time. Like walked out. I was just walking out in the parking lot, Home Depot, and I could see my door was open, and I was like, all right, well, that's weird, you know, and I could see 2 legs sticking out of the door, and he was clearly, like, digging through my shit in the truck, and I had tools and all that kind of stuff, and CDs and
Illegal
shit.
kill.
I just kind of, like, walked up, so when I was walking up, he heard me, and he turned around, he straightened up, he goes, "Oh, my truck won't start." I was like, "Oh, man, it won't. That's weird." I was like, "Well, what's wrong with you? You want me to help you out, man? Why don't you pop the hood?" He goes, "Oh, well, I can't find my keys now. I lost my keys." I go, "Do they look like these?" And that motherfucker, like, bro, he like vaulted over the door and hit the ground on his ass, got up and was gone. I was like, "Well, I ain't gonna chase. You know, I'm not a chaser." Like, I should have caught you before you got over the door.
Yeah,
I should have just walked up and hit you. I
That's
just wanted to hear what he was going to say to me, though. Like he tried to play it off. He was ballsy. Like
I respect that game.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to. We were my neighborhood. This is back when I lived in Beaumont, my old neighborhood. I got arrested because I didn't stop the guys myself. I should have just. This is why I'll forever just fuck with this shit myself. I catch you, you're mine.
You're mine.
These dudes have been breaking into our cars in this complex for like a week and a half straight. They just hit, and we were staying up at night. You're trying to watch.
Oh, yeah, that's when y'all were in the treehouse
Yes.
throwing arrows and shit.
Yes.
I remember.
So my
We
buddy,
thought Slade was going to kill somebody for a minute.
I was planning on it. I built a fortress up there, and we would all hang out at night. And one night, Henry calls me. Dude lived across the street, big old stocky black dude. He calls me up and he goes, "Hey man," he goes, "they're outside." And I was like, "What?" So we go outside. We see the car. We call up because we had rallied up like 4 or 5 dudes in the neighborhood, so we were all on point. So we're all out there, and they pull up behind this apartment building that had gone dark after the hurricane, so it was just abandoned. They park back there, and I'm literally like, everybody's like, "Let's get them." I was like, "Man, we know where they are. Let's just let the cops handle this shit. If we go do all the bad stuff that could happen." Well, we call the cops. They drive over. They bust these dudes. They open the doors. Weed smoke pours out. I mean, like, this is a cold bust. And we're all standing with our arms crossed, laughing our asses off, like, "Justice, motherfucker! Get our shit back." And while I'm watching it happen, the cops give the kids the keys back and let them leave. And I'm like, this bullshit. And the cops leave, and we're all standing out in the street, and everybody's all sad and dejected, like, "Man, fuck this." So they all go home, and me and Henry are still outside. And that car comes back about 5 minutes later. They had thrown some shit out, like tossed it, so they didn't get busted. And me and Henry are still out there, and we both got baseball bats. And bro,
Is this going to incriminate you?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Statute of limitations.
Oh, it's way long ago.
We busted this car up like a Cinco de Mayo pinata, and the dude is screaming out the window, "This is my mama's car!" And Henry, "Your mama better have insurance, bitch!" And they peel off. Well, all of that excitement got the cops called again. Someone heard the break in glass and the this and that. And when the cops show back up, me and Henry are standing out there, and I tell a joke about this on stage, but the truth of it all, the cops are like, "What's going on?" And we're just both standing there like, we have no idea. No idea. You guys were just here. Why don't y'all tell us what happened? Just being dumb. And Henry gets mad when it's all said and done. He goes, "Look, man," he goes, "if y'all ain't going to handle these motherfuckers, we will." Straight up. And the cop looks right at Henry, and he goes, "You can't say the word motherfucker to a law enforcement officer." And I look at Henry, and I go, "Nah, but this motherfucker can say it." And cuffed me. Just like that. And I'm sitting there, and I'm in the back of the car. I think I'm being taught a lesson. Like, this is one of those scared straight kind of, don't be an asshole to a cop. And these sons of bitches get in and crank up the car, and they're like, "You're going to jail." And I'm like, "Well, can my dude, what?" For inciting a riot was the official.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
They hit you with the Travis Scott crime.
That was before we had any riots.
Yeah.
We didn't know what one was.
What the fuck?
It was the most ridiculous. It was a disorderly conduct charge, but under the auspice of inciting a riot. That I was exciting Henry in the face of law enforcement, and we might get
They
excited.
got one black dude upset. It was a riot.
Exactly what it was.
Fucking Beaumont.
Exactly what it was. That's the Officer Nichols, I think. Was it Nichols or Nicholson? Anyway, it was the most. And I even told, and this dude was like, this is one of those cops, because I was like, "Can I tell my friend to go get my wallet so he can follow us down and bail me out?" My fucking front door's unlocked, homie. I'm out here trying to stop a crime, which is what you should be
I'm
doing.
doing your job.
Yeah. So he can lock your place up if you want to tell him. I'm like, "Bro, go get my wallet." And he comes back out. He's like, "What's your ATM code?" I tell him. And the cop's like, "You should just clean him out while you got his car." I'm like, "Are you a fucking real cop, or are you a dude in a Halloween costume?"
Hey, are you telling me none of them kids called you a motherfucker in that first card?
Hell no, they were there, yes or no, sir.
Right.
They knew they were dirty.
Or did they just not have a very excited black friend?
I was
disorderly conduct.
I was
Damn,
coming
that's
out of
insane.
Roach's apartment back. I had this Acura Legend back in the day, and I was coming out of Roach's apartment, and I was only there for a minute, so I got out. I didn't lock my doors, right? I come out. It's these 2 kids. My front door's open. My back door's open. Their feet are out. They are just laid across the seats, looking under shit, in the glove box, doing it. So I just come walking up, just kind of strolling, whatever, and then, "Hey fellas, how y'all doing?" One of them gets up, takes off. The other one gets up. He's right by the parking pole. He tries to go around that, and I just rap. Nah, motherfucker, you will stay right here. And man, he's like 12, 13, whatever. And I just, where the fuck do you live? Because we're in an apartment complex.
Okay.
He's like, I'm not telling you. I was like, oh, you gonna tell me?
Did you go have sex with his mom in front of him?
Oh, I wish.
No, that was
I
great.
wish. I wish. But no, I was like, oh, you gonna fucking tell me? And he's like, I'm not telling you shit. And I was like, here's the thing, I can take you home to your family, or I can lay you the fuck out right here, because no one can see us. Like we're in this carport thing. I was like, I'm gonna open my trunk, I'm gonna grab my tire iron, I'm gonna bash your fucking head.
Sam with
Tell
dirty
me where
Harry.
you fucking tell me where you live. And so
I
he
could take
does.
you home to your family, or I could send you home to your family.
They can find you.
I run his ass to the house. I knock on the door. Mom opens. Who are you? What are you doing, my son? Blah, blah, blah. Your son and his friend were breaking into my fucking car. And here's the thing. I'm bringing him to you because I could call the cops on this little motherfucker. Yeah. And she's just, you need to let him go. And this is the thing. I go, okay. Apparently giving him to you ain't going to do shit. So maybe I should just go ahead and do what I was originally going to do. And then from the back here, oh, yeah, who's at the fucking door? It's Dad. He comes walking up. Hey, who the fuck are you? I'm the guy whose car your son just fucking broke into. You breaking his car? Yeah. No. And I go, remember what I said, dude. I'll fuck you up. And he's like, yeah. It's okay. I got this. He grabs the kid, shuts the door, and you just hear, ah! 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 And I walked away. I was like, no cops needed.
Yeah.
Dad, fuck this dude. I walked away. Like, I kind of half ran. I was like, I don't think I need to be a witness to this
shit. Yeah,
that kid's getting fucked up.
I didn't need to do it. I just needed it done.
Yeah.
I've had like 2 vehicles where I would have to park them and leave them in places where I would just leave the doors unlocked on them. I had a little Hyundai Accent when we were all hanging out the wet spot back in the day on West Gray, and I'd get drunk, go home with somebody, and I'd just leave the Hyundai unlocked so they wouldn't break my damn window.
It's
and
expensive.
come back, find a bum asleep in it, wake him up, take your blanket, get on, you know. Yep. But one time, I had this old 4-door Chevrolet truck, and I was working down in Sabine Pass, like Port Arthur, and I had to park at the heliport down there. It's gone for like a week, come back, get in the truck at like 2 in the morning. I'm going that one little highway, it goes back up to I-10. I'm going down that highway about 50 miles an hour. I realized I could hear somebody snoring. And I just kind of like look over that back seat, and there's a chick, like she's strung out, but she's crashed out back there, sawing logs in the back seat.
That's
First time in 3 days.
So I floored it. I cranked the fucking stereo up, and I saw her pop up, and she was like, you know, like a deer when they see you in the woods.
Like a meerkat.
Yeah, she's like doing that. And I'm running like 100, this old clapped out Chevrolet, the fenders are rattling. And I'm just grinning at her in the fucking rear view mirror. And we get to a train crossing. I have to slow down for the train crossing. And when I slowed down about 20, I heard the door open. And she just bailed out the door.
Because she was peacefully sleeping off a meth binge and woke up in the middle of a Rob Zombie movie. Are you kidding me? And you can get by with it because if the cops pull you over, you got a meth head you weren't expecting in the back of your car. This is a free pass for chaos, Jerry.
I just heard that door. All right. Well, that's cool. All right.
I have a very similar story.
It's got what I wanted anyway. I wanted you out of my car.
You wake up in the back of somebody's truck?
Right. Yeah, I was on 3-day binge. Yeah. I fucking was doing open mics and just started doing open mics and you know, get in the car. And I'm just kind of talking to my brother. It's like the beginning of when you starting. So you're just like, yeah, it was fucking rough and blah, blah, blah. And I get in the car and I'm driving and I'm just driving. I get to like Montrose, like make the right. And then I just like smell something. What the fuck is that? And I'm looking. I'm like, you know, I look in the back seat. I'm like, bro, what are you doing back here? He was like, come on, brother, it's cold outside. I said, all right, man. So I just drove to that's when I stayed there. I just drove to Pasadena, and I was like, look, my wife gets up and leave for work at 7. You got to be out of this car. You can have it. You know what I mean? You got to get out of this car. So it was like, all right, I promise I'll be out. I think I got up at like 6:45. I was like, hey, bro, you got to get the fuck out the car. And I guess I relocated a homeless person. Like he just
now he lives in Pasadena.
We could never get that smell out that car.
He probably got
we
better
could
life
never
now.
get that, bro. Whatever the fuck bums don't wash with or whatever the world put on you when you is homeless, that smell is on there forever. That shit smell like surgery sweat.
It's like musk. It's like them animals when they spray something.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Surgery sweat.
Surgery
You know
sweat.
those
That
commerce
shit was
green
funky.
moss over there?
That's all these. Yeah.
Back before, like, they're fancy now.
the
They
mic.
used to be, like they were actual artist lost, and so they're like $350 a month or whatever. And it was just dump. I knew a girl who lived there, and I went and we went over to the house. We got drunk one night, and I passed out. And that same Acura that those kids broke into, a bum slept in it the night before. Like, it was me. I'm like 23, 24. I've got Whataburger bags, all kinds of shit, whatever. This motherfucker opened my my glove box, grabbed a piece of paper and a pen, and when I got in, stuck between like where the horn is, like on the steering wheel, a little piece of paper there. He said, "It was cold outside. I slept in here last night. I hope you don't mind. I cleaned up for you." I looked in the back. There was a plastic bag from like a Walmart, and all the fast food shit was all in there. And like my car was cleaner than it had been in a month. And I was like, "Hey, dude, do you want a spare key?"
Yeah. I'm gonna be back over here next Thursday.
Yeah,
That is great hospitality, right?
yeah.
You don't want to sleep on the outside, do you?
Yeah.
That's funny, man.
Sleep on the trunk, goddammit. Shit.
But yeah, that's the only time. Like, because you know it's always weird when you feel like somebody's been in your shit. And so
True.
I
There's
came
an
in
energy,
and I was like, man, I didn't lock my doors last night. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, I hope you don't mind. I slept in here. Bitch, what the fuck you doing? Sleeping in my
So
car?
if you just-
And then I kept reading. I was like, hey!
You gotta let somebody know you're a decent human being
Facts.
in a spot, right? Because otherwise, I just assume you're the crazy one,
Exactly. Yeah.
and they're out there too.
Yeah, I had this. You never seen it. You might have seen pictures. I used to have this wild, like Johnny Cash looking suit I wore on stage. And it had ostrich skin and stuff. You remember the suit?
Bro, I booked you in that
Okay,
suit.
yeah,
I saw that.
I remember it.
Hey,
I remember it.
I saw that.
I go, what's up? What's going on here, Jerry? Oh, just full of coke.
A
I'm just full of coke, Bubba.
lot of cocaine. A lot of cocaine making my decisions.
You were
Cocaine
wearing
bought
it when
that
you
suit.
won Houston's Funniest, weren't you?
Yeah.
How did you move your arms in that thing?
Oh,
that
I
looked
love
like
that
it had
suit.
shoulder
God,
pads.
man.
What
that-
happened? Where's
That's
that?
well, this one. So I had that suit, and I had a pair of snakeskin boots that I wore with it, and I had some hair gel, some Axe body spray, and a pair of Elvis sunglasses. Right. They were sitting in that Hyundai, and I left it in the wet spot parking lot one night, and I went home with the bartender or whatever, and she drops you off the next morning. I go, and the back door's open, the suit's gone, the hair gel's gone, the Axe body spray's gone, the Elvis sunglasses, and one of the rattlesnake boots is gone. Not two. So now I'm like driving up and down West Gray looking for like a dude with a prosthetic.
Well, yeah, if she'd
with
taken
some
the
good
second,
ass hair and some Elvis glasses. in my
if
suit
they'd taken
on.
the second boot, it's $500. You go to. That's a
It
whole
had
different
on him,
case.
Mark.
That's a whole different case, bro.
Call back, get paid.
That's good.
Well, I went to pawn shops around Montrose for weeks looking for that suit.
Yeah, you got to figure, man. You got to
Fuck,
figure one of those boots was worth $300. That Axe body spray, well,
$2.99.
$2.99. And that jacket was worth $150. So you had like,
And those are Graceland license Elvis
Damn, that
glasses.
grand larceny.
I was looking for that fool. I was like, God, there's a good looking son of a bitch walking around up and down
that's
West Gray
right. There wasn't
now.
a stray cat show somewhere to stop
Oh,
on
shit.
in.
I remember that my dad, that was a big lesson that he had taught us. Just kind of moved us away, just from the hood. So just meaning when I go to the basketball court, I'm the only black dude at the basketball court. I was around that. So we had like this thing at church or whatever. And it was like in what is that called? In the CUNY homes. It was like over there. So and they had a basketball court there. So I go there to go play basketball, like everybody plays. And I fucking took my polo. I had this red polo, the blue horse and shit. I took it off and just, hey, can y'all watch that for me? Yada yada. And I'm fucking hooping. And I get ready to leave. I'm like, yo, where's my shirt? Where's my and somebody had got me for the shirt. So I go tell my dad. I go to tell my dad. He go, where your shirt at? I was like, I took it off, and you can't trust these niggas. He was like, 'cause he was so mad, cause he was like, oh, you ain't from the hood, you don't know. He's like, bro, somebody saw you come out and was like, damn, that's a nice ass shirt. Oh, he taking the shirt off? Oh, I'm about to leave with this shirt. So then I was like, oh, Dad, it hurts so bad, cause I feel bad because you bought me that shirt. That meant a lot to me. Now I'm finna whoop your ass because if it meant that much to you, you should have hooped with it on.
They made us be skins.
Yeah.
That's what you should be looking for is the dude who called shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, you should be looking for his cousin. That's what you're looking for. We went to New Orleans, went to the Bayou Classic, man. We had gone shopping, whatever. And when we were getting ready to go to the Superdome, we were like, okay, we parked, blah, blah, blah. We don't want nothing to be seen. Throw it all in the trunk. We came out of the game.
Gone.
Window busted, trunk open, nothing taken out of the car. Somebody was just
watched
sitting
you.
there just watching. They were like, look at all that shit they put in that trunk.
That's the move, though, man. They bust out the little small window, open your back trunk, and throw it down. They look in real fast, and then they know whether it's because the stuff you leave in the back seat, that's not the stuff.
One of my favorites. Remember when I was coming here to the podcast, and
Unless you're
I had
parked outside the
plastic on
secret
both my
group, because
windows?
that's where everybody leaves their laptop for some reason.
Why? But I had the plastic on both my passenger side windows. I parked at my buddy's house. I parked on the street. And now these crooks, they went and they had bashed out just everybody's window and they had just opened it, smashing and grabbing, right? But everybody, it was like just the back window, whatever. Mine had two. And I was like, why you gotta bash out broke windows?
You
And
could
then
have
I
just
went in-
opened this with a butter knife.
I went in, I looked in the back seat. There was a box of Jordans that was open, right? Problem is, I had a show that night. So the J's were on my feet. Inside the box was a pair of busted ass DC skate shoes. So I think they busted the window because they
For the
saw the
Jordans.
Jordan box. And when they opened it, didn't see the J's, they were like, fuck this dude. And they hit me again.
Yeah.
This makes me laugh. Think about you bringing it up. Like my brother had that happen. Somebody busted his window out and took his gun, took all his shit. He's like, fuck. So he's like driving around and he's got the bag on his shit. So he goes to go out and they breaking his shit again. He goes, like, bro, I mean, he took the bag off my shit, bro. I mean,
That's
you
cold.
take the bag, you like, that's cold fucking blooded, dog. Like,
We lived in the gated like redneck neighborhood up there off Lake Conroe, and the kids were coming through breaking into everybody's cars, and they were getting guns. You know, because all these hillbillies got their guns.
kept their gun in the car?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just
Yeah.
the way
You
they
don't take
operate.
it with you?
And so
Not
these
inside.
not
You're
these
just going to
dudes.
bring it back
These
out
are all
the next morning.
These are all the dudes. A good guy with a gun, you know, but they're
Yeah.
they are all getting their guns jacked every night. And then outside the secret group, all they're getting is shitty comics laptops, and I just keep imagining these groups of thieves meeting up. Like, you need some computers, you need some guns. Yeah, so,
Well, we got all the guns. Give us all the computers.
Yeah.
that's probably. Yeah.
You can't go to a gunfight with a computer bag.
Yeah.
Well, you go around April Sound in Conroe, right? Like rich neighborhood on the lake. You break in cars there, boy, you walk away with Percocet, Oxycontin, all the good stuff, you know what I mean? And guns.
Did you see that pastor stage a robbery?
What?
There's a pastor in New York that staged a robbery on like Instagram
Oh,
Live.
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
whatever.
Wow, so you can pray it away or something?
Yeah, like, but he just first of all, he was a dude that was like always stunting.
Yeah.
Like he was always like I'm prospering. And then you just see on the live, like they come in like, get down, blah, blah, do the whole thing. And it ended up just being like a straight like insurance scam. Like to try to get, but we knew churches that got robbed. Like I've been at church
Yeah.
when church get robbed. That shit is not that calm. First of all, you don't think it's real. You like, bro, what's happening? Okay, this is a dope ass praise team right here, boy. They wilding. Okay, army of the Lord. All right, we in here.
You
You
about
like,
to tear a
oh,
phone book in
wait
half?
a minute, my daddy really give me his watch. Like,
They're trying to scare us into heaven.
yeah, it's like.
Hey, man, that they got the spirit. Everybody on the floor. Like, with hands behind the head and everything. Like,
This is crazy. Yeah, you just
Everybody got their hands in the air.
yeah, you like,
I was just
damn.
imagining a whole bunch of middle-aged black women when they realize they are being robbed, though. I bet shit
Oh
got
yeah,
chaotic
they
quick.
realize they got to give up that wig for real.
You've never been hit with so many shoes. And Ooh.
Get your ass out of here. We rebuke this robbery.
Give me your belt.
We rebuked it.
Robbery.
I rebuke it.
motherfucker, who raised you? Who raised you? Whose kid is you?
Man, we
Are you Sister Tanya's kid?
we went to one time. My dad went to go preach at the church. They had just got robbed, so they took usually when they rob a church, they take all of the sound system. So
Uh-huh.
they pawn
Yeah.
the board and
Yeah.
all that. And boy, that shit is when you go in. It's just
You had to go a cappella.
But yeah, and then people that don't know, they like, damn, where they mics at? Like, you know what I'm saying? They just calling out everything wrong. You like, shh, they got robbed.
Yeah, I feel like that's
they got robbed.
You gotta tell everybody that you got robbed. If that we normally have a sound system if this is your first Sunday. You know what? For all the newcomers, you got to make sure they know they're not.
We always used to run through like a bunch of musicians and shit. We had one dude that was like on drugs real bad.
Drummer?
No, it was a pianist. It was like the
keyboard.
Motherfucker broke in and stole the keyboard. So he broke in.
Dude,
He broke in and stole a keyboard, and my dad was like, "You gonna replace this keyboard? Like we know it's you. Like whatever the case may be, blah blah." That motherfucker showed up with one of them
Casio.
This thing got 8 keys.
It was a 60 key goddamn. He showed up with a little motherfucker and was leading praise and worship. We had to put the mic up to the. You had to put the mic on the speaker, up to the speaker.
Yeah, because the guitar has more strings.
Yeah, it's just like just playing this shit. We're like, yeah, we got to get a new musician. He done robbed himself.
That's big money now, man. Them church musicians make a killing now,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
I know 2 or 3 studio musicians that just all they do on the weekends is go play churches, and they make
Yeah,
bank.
you clean up. You clean up for sure.
Everybody's robbing everybody.
Yeah.
This is the whole game. We should get. Go ahead.
We should
I
get out
was
of
gonna
here.
say one of my favorite fucking comics in Houston. I thought he quit, and that I just found out the motherfucker was just killing it, getting churches money, doing Christian comedy. Fucking Keith Bates.
Oh yeah.
Keith
He-
Bates.
that's where he went?
Yeah.
Man,
He
I
went from
love
Steve
it.
Harvey
Bates,
to.
I don't know if he's still doing it, but for a while there, Kier was just going out hitting these black churches, and Kier was fucking.
Kier's doing a lot.
Little Daryl does a lot of them churches, man.
Kier's one of the funniest people I've ever seen in my fucking
Kier's-
life.
Kier's hilarious.
He's so
I
goddamn
got
funny.
a real good friend in Memphis, comic that he's a Christian comic or whatever. He's the guy running the Jackson Club now, booking the Jackson Club and everything. But he called me up. He's like, man, I know you got some jokes about religion and stuff. Do you want to come do one of these gigs with me? And I was like, well, what are we talking about? He goes, well, it's this church in Alabama. It's one of them big old, huge, what do they call them, mega churches or whatever.
Okay.
He said, they'll pay for your airfare, right? And he said, the way it works, you get there for a morning service, and they do a little bit of the sermon, and then they say, we're going to have a comedy ministry, right? And they bring you out, and you'll do 20 minutes. And they're going to pay us $1,000 a piece.
That's right.
To do 20 minutes of prayer of joke ministry or whatever they're calling it. And he said, but the cool thing is after that, then they do a prayer offering for the comedians. And then they put
take
the
up
plate
an
out, and he said, we usually get about another $1,200. And I was like, me and Rachel were real tight, broke at the time, and I was like, oh baby, I can't do that. I want to, but I can't. I apparently found my hypocritical border.
You found your line.
I found my hypocrisy line. I'm like, I can't do that. No.
Hypocrisy line.
I did.
Better man than me.
Yeah. No, I
wasn't aware I had boundaries until that. I was like, oh.
I was hitting him up a ton. My dad would just let me. I did it for all his, and that's like kind of what it was. Hey, come. And I was getting a lot to money, but I did stop doing it because
I'd be sitting there with a book of Matthew and a pen.
yeah.
Right joke.
Have a good time with it.
Give me 24 hours.
I'm not going to say I didn't write some bits.
Shit.
I mean, I was thinking about it.
I had to stop. They don't let you fuck in the green room.
Only pastor fucks in the
Only pastor can fuck in the green room.
Smoking's okay, though.
We got to kill this one. Before we do, happy birthday, Chicken. Chicken, have you ever been on the camera on the whiskey? Put it on camera, too, and come over here and just wave at the folks so they can see what you look like.
Oh, yeah.
It's come on. You got a shot? All right, well let them see you. Say hello.
Hey.
Cheers. We
It'd
got
be
a
funny if he put it on the wrong camera.
Yeah.
it's likely.
We still can't see him.
He's good.
We really wanted you just to see what Chicken looked like so we could roast him.
It's his birthday. We're so known.
Exactly.
When we do Ito and stuff like that, we always do, or even with the Whiskey Brothers lately, it's been a you look like segment, and you guys have had to do so many you look likes. We should do a Chicken looks like.
Yeah.
We should do a
Chicken look like Jerry's taint.
Are we doing it now? We're doing it next episode.
No, we should just do it to wrap this
A little
episode.
more hair.
We gotta.
Chicken looks like the way Dimebag Darrell looks now.
God damn. He's been dead since 04. That's. Woo.
Chicken looks like the guy I buy catalytic converters from.
Yeah, chicken. Chicken, you look like you sell meth to yourself.
Chicken looks like if every Leonard Skinner album could talk.
He looks like he's in a band that covers Leonard Skinner songs that have been covered by other bands.
Covering other bands' versions.
Like, yo, only play Simple Man. That's
Chicken look like he comes to NASCAR sounds.
that's.
Vroom.
It looks like when he does, that's the sound he makes. Like she's like, what was that?
Lap, 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 lap.
Get the pit. Get the pit.
Damn it, yellow flag.
Wow, you did that in under a second.
He said those are true.
Chicken, you look like you go to the racetrack to keep from having to fuck your sister. That's I don't have anything there. Really.
God, buddy.
Damn. You read his motherfucking diary and shit. Damn, so ain't supposed to be you look like, not personal jokes. Goddamn.
You look like you work in the back of a Buc-ee's.
Oh my God. Damn, that wins.
Nobody can outdo that.
Back of the house Buc-ee's? Oh my God.
Well, Chicken, happy birthday.
Happy
Hey.
Welcome.
10:49 in the can. We're the Whiskey Brothers, Slade, Sam, Jerry, Wayne Longmire, joined by
You
Tre
look like this your last birthday.
We'll see y'all soon.
I believe in good whiskey, and I believe in good times. I believe in good music, loud guitar